Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, a beautiful roast Cornish hen that was marinated and cooked up just right with a little bit of gravy on the side. Hey folks, it's another beautiful day here in Dallas, Texas, and we're getting ready to make some beautiful food. This is going to be a fun recipe, and that's what you're watching is one of my recipe videos. That's one of the short ones. Now folks, when you get to the end of this, if it's not everything that you need, there's another episode, the next one, which is a full-on tutorial. It goes into methodology and technique and all of that. For now, let's get in the kitchen and take a look at this good recipe. Come on. Today, I'm going to be making a roast Cornish hen. This is a wonderful yet very simple recipe. It's a short marinade with some very good ingredients. After a 1 hour marinade, it's time to roast it. That takes an hour right there. After that, we'll make a little bit of gravy with what's left over, and we have a very, very special dish. This is roast Cornish hen. Guys, let's take a look at the ingredients here and get busy making this delicious tasting dish. Our recipe starts, of course, with a couple of Cornish hens. These are a 22-ounce Cornish hen. Now, you can get these things in different sizes. If you have children, you might want to consider the 16-ounce. That's a better size for kids. The 22-ounce I find is a wonderful size for adults, and that's the one I'm going to cook up. The recipe I show you today is good for 2 Cornish hens. Our marinade, oh looky here, we've got some wonderful ingredients. First off, I have a wonderful Chardonnay over here, and that's part of this marinade. We're going to be using also some lemon juice and some red wine vinegar, some tarragon. Over here we have thyme, and in that back bowl is salt. Also, if you'll notice in the foreground there, we have a little bit of string. I'm going to show you the proper way to truss a bird. It's a very simple method. It works very well. It's quick, it's easy, and you're going to be surprised it's kind of fun too. Now folks, before I get started on my bird, I'm going to take all of my ingredients, the wine and all of the rest of this, and mix it together in this with a whisk so it starts to work together and start softening and breaking down that tarragon and doing its thing. That way we have it all ready to go and easy to put in the bag when it comes time to marinate that chicken. Now when it comes time to prepare these birds to cook, you don't want them splayed open because different parts of the bird will cook at different rates. If you pull it all together, it cooks at an even amount of time, and you get even cooking throughout without some parts being drier than others. So it's a smart thing to do, what we're going to do here. I'm also going to be removing the skin, and for good reason. Number one, it's a healthy thing to do to get that out of the way, but also the skin will block the marinade from getting good penetration on that meat. Now, let's remove that skin, get it tied up, and we're ready to move on. We have our chickens already trussed up, the skin removed. They are ready for marinating. Now I just got to get them down in that plastic bag, pour the marinade in it, put it in the fridge, and let it sit there for about an hour. There we go. They're down in the plastic bag. Turn them upside down, you know, with those wings side up, and that way you can let it marinate and get to the thicker parts of the meat. Just put this in the fridge and let it sit there for an hour, guys. Turn it at least once during the marinating. I have removed these birds from the marinade, placed them up on this cooking rack and in this dish. I've placed some of the wine down below here, also a little bit of water, so about a cup of wine and about half a cup of water I put in there. The chickens, I then used a basting brush and basted them with olive oil, and that way they won't dry out when I'm cooking. So now they go in the oven, 375 degrees for about an hour. You want to check the meat at about 1 hour, and you want to make sure it's around 175 to 180 degrees. Okay, I've got this down in the oven. I've set my timer for 1 hour. all I have to do is just wait. I need to baste that chicken about halfway in the cooking, so add olive oil over the surface of it, 30 minutes in your cooking. After that, just let it finish up in the oven. It takes about an hour usually. You want the core temperature in the densest part to be around 175 to 180 degrees, okay? Just that simple. As I mentioned earlier, I was going to give these just a light drizzle of oil at the end and brush that over it. After these have been cooked and they've rested for a little bit of time, you can go ahead and cut the string that goes around these legs. Boy, look at that, there's juice just squirting out of him. And you always want to do this before serving, okay? Because you don't want to serve somebody a Cornish hen that's all tied up, because they won't have any way of undoing it. There we go. Our actual recipe, the ingredients that we used and the amounts, is of course 2 Cornish hens, as you saw. The amount of white wine I used in the marinade was about a cup. And how much you use in the bottom of the dish is up to you, but I recommend about another cup in there. Okay, the lemon juice, that was a half a cup. Red wine vinegar, 1/4 of a cup. Tarragon, that was 1 tablespoon of tarragon. 2 teaspoons of the thyme, and 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Very simple recipe. Look at that, folks. Gorgeous looking little bird. Oh yes, I'm looking forward to dinner today. You know, neat thing about knowing how to do marinades and stuff like that is that when you get good at it, oh wow, it makes such a difference. Take some of that gravy. Oh yes. You know, the thing that you got to remember about enjoying a Cornish hen, you got to get a little bit carnal with it. Don't be afraid to reach in with your hands, tear it apart, and just enjoy it. That's the way to do a Cornish hen. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it so much. If you would, please take a look at the channel. I've got a lot of recipes there. Wonderful, wonderful recipes for you. Also, please click the like button if you enjoyed this. If you would, leave some comments, questions, if you have a suggestion, or if you have a request. You'd be surprised how often those get fulfilled for people. Thank you very much for watching again. And folks, please have a good day. Bye-bye. Oh, yes. There it was, folks. It was a beautiful recipe, wasn't it? Hey, once again, if this isn't everything that you need from this recipe, please take a look at that next episode. That's the tutorial to this same recipe. And folks, there's a lot of information there. So if there's something you don't understand, that will explain it. Thank you for watching Texas Cooking Today. And folks, please enjoy the view of downtown Dallas.